Today we're looking at 12 skyrocketing running backs that you can draft in the double-digit rounds of your fantasy draft that can give you upside, that could turn around your league. That's a good lottery ticket to help you come out the end of your fantasy football season with some cash. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button. We're looking at these players every day. We're strategizing for your draft every day, in season, waiver wire, trades, lineup setting, every day right here. Click that button, stop missing out. First running back that we're looking at today, Chase Brown. And he's got a lot of upside. Good size, adjusted speed score. He's got a lot of pop in the step. He showed that last year. He's getting good reps in training camp. Training camp is sounding good. And there's a good chance he's getting opportunity at the start of the season. We got Zach Moss there, however. You can say I'm talking about him as well. Zach Moss is very dependable between the tackles. He could be out there, especially in pass protection. Zach Moss is good in fantasy if he's getting an opportunity. Chase Brown's a good upside play. He's got the speed and the pop in his step to really be transcendent in this offense, especially given a good run of opportunity. He's a guy to get in double-digit rounds that has some upside. He's in an offense that pushes the pace, that can be explosive. Brown could be a good fit for your fantasy team. Zach Charbonnet. Kenneth Walker's there, but like we're saying, him and Charbonnet, they just like to take turns getting injured, taking some time off in the season. We saw that last year. Zach Charbonnet missed some practices already, but he's cheap, double-digit rounds. He catches the ball well out of the backfield. The team drafted him in the second round last year, even though they already had Kenneth Walker. They like to use their running backs. These two running backs will be used intermittently. If something happens to Kenneth Walker, you will be fighting for Zach Charbonnet off the waiver wire. You'll be fighting for him like everybody did last year. Everybody did, and I told you would be, and I told you to stash him, and when that happened, everybody wanted him, and that's what happened. You're catching him at a cheaper price tag than what he was in drafts last year. Look at that little run he had. It wasn't tremendous, but we're going into year 2. We've got another training camp under our belts. If something happens, you might catch something like that or a little bit better. You might catch a running back that has more standalone production this year. But he's cheap. He does have some upside due to his usage in the passing game and also his ability to run it between the tackles. Chuba Hubbard. And this is all on Jonathan Brooks here. If he starts off on the pup, missing time, starting the season off slow whatsoever, getting limited opportunities, Chuba Hubbard is going to get some opportunities. He's going to be the guy racking up fantasy production. He did it last year. Look at what he did last year. Wasn't super sexy, but he was scoring double-digit fantasy points damn near every game. Round 14 selection. He's getting the Jonathan Brooks discount. Maybe he racks off a few good games. First 4 or 5 weeks of the season, you can use him, and now you're just grabbing upside plays in between time off the waiver wire before you iron things out, and you can catch him with one of the last picks of your draft. A running back that could get you fantasy production. And if he's not, say he's not, you didn't pay anything for him, you just drop him to the waiver wire and get somebody else. You'll know early. You'll know early, and that's the great thing about him. That's the great thing about a running back like this. You'll know early, and if you don't want him week 1, 2, or 3, he's gone. You get a running back off waivers that just got some opportunity due to the starter getting hurt, and now you got the running back getting the touches, and you can make that play. Devin Singletary, round 10 ADP. Could be a little bit higher or lower by the time you start drafting. But when he's getting opportunity, he scores fantasy production because he's dependable. Good between the tackles. Could be using the passing game a little bit. Good in pass protection. That's what the Giants wanted. This offense isn't sexy. It's ugly. Danny Dimes ain't looking good. We're drafting him for touches. We're drafting him because he's going to be on the field. We're drafting him because he's going to be used. And that's what we want. We want some stability in the double-digit rounds. If you got 2 okay running backs, you want 0 RB, and you want a little bit more stability, and then you're going to start drafting upside. Devin Singletary might be a guy you're looking at, but he can give you some upside. He showed it last year with the Texans. The Giants are not the Texans. The Giants are not the Texans. Malik Neighbors, though, could really allow teams to not put all the defenders in the box. Could allow the box to be a little bit lighter if Malik Neighbors can cook with Danny Dimes just even remotely. But he's going to be on the field. He's going to get a good opportunity share. He's going to be getting touches, and that could give you a baseline fantasy production at a cheap cost. Trey Benson, ultimate upside play. Round 10 ADP, I look for that to go up. This is a lie because I think that's going to go up. I think it's going to go up pretty soon. He's been looking good in preseason. He's been looking very explosive. If something happens to James Conner, which could very well happen because he's an older running back and running backs get hurt, that's the running back game. Trey Benson looking good in preseason, 4.3 speed, good between the tackles. Next man up, could be lightning in a bottle. Braylon Allen, right behind Breece Hall. Running backs get injured. Braylon Allen is looking good in training camp. He is solid as the RB2. He's in a solid offense as long as Aaron Rodgers is kicking it on the field. Braylon Allen will get a lot of touches if something happens with Breece Hall. May not be used as much in the passing game, but he also might have standalone value too around the goal line, getting some touches. He might be the meat shield for Breece Hall. You might be getting meat shield points from Braylon Allen this year. He's free. He's going at the end of your draft. If you have Breece Hall, you may want to think about Braylon Allen. He's looking good. The media is calling them the Killer Bees. They gave them a nickname. There's a reason for that. You need to value him more than round 16 this year. Ray Davis, looking good in preseason. Everybody on Twitter started talking Ray Davis up. We've been trying to do as many videos as we can on him, but the media for the Bills do not show many clips of him. But he's good between the tackles. He has good vision. He's good in pass protection, which is very important for a rookie. He's fumbled a little bit in camp. James Cook's been fumbling too, so it's kind of evening itself out. He's looking good in preseason. He's going to be the 1B back to James Cook. That's pretty much what he's going to be. 1B and 1A. They're both going to get touches intermittently. Ray Davis may need a rookie ramp up. It might be middle of the season, but he's a good lottery ticket. Blake Corum, the most NFL-ready running back in this year's draft class. He's a lunch pail running back. Good pop in the step, catches the ball out of the backfield, good between the tackles, good in pass protection. He's got some Kyren Williams in him, but he's a little bit different. It's not a comparison. It's just both of those guys are lunch pail players. Both of them are good in a lot of facets. And the thing is, if something happens to Kyren Williams, like it has the last 2 seasons, Blake Corum's the next guy up. If I have Kyren Williams, I'm making a precedent to get Blake Corum. I'm looking at Blake Corum in damn near every draft because if something happens to Kyren Williams, they want to slide in a running back and give them all the touches. Kyren Williams might have his touches reduced slightly. I look for Kyren Williams to still get a bulk of the load. Blake Corum, though, if something happens, he's going to get his opportunity, and it's going to be huge, and it's probably going to be RB1 results. Jalen Wright is in the offense that's built for him. It's very explosive. You got running backs in front of him who have been nicked up with injuries over the course of time, and if that happens again and running backs get hurt, that's part of the game. They're going to slide him in with that 4.3 speed, this fast-paced offense. It's going to click, and it's going to be the most optimal place for him to create fantasy production for us and the most optimal place for him to play football. Look for him to be lightning in a bottle if he gets opportunities. Ty Chandler. He got some run last year, but some of that got called back too. He would have had more fantasy production during that run because he lost some of those runs due to penalties. Would have been more productive. People would be more all over him. He's got 4.3 speed. Aaron Jones was nicked up with injuries last year. Older running back. He's got speed to burn. I just don't look for this offense to be a stout when it comes to moving the chains. I look for Justin Jefferson to get a ton of targets and Justin Jefferson to be the guy and everybody else just trying to get the scraps. Ty Chandler, though, mid-season if something happens or early season, could be the handcuff you want due to the upside with that speed. DeAndre Swift has an immense injury history, and that goes back to when he was at Detroit. If that happens, if that comes back here in Chicago, Khalil Herbert will be the next guy up. That was proven last year, and he has the potential to pop off on any given week, like we saw last year, like we saw the years prior in Chicago. He also has an injury history, but you're drafting him with one of your last picks, or you're just watching the waiver wire. Pay attention to Khalil Herbert. Pay attention to DeAndre Swift. Jaleel McLaughlin's got some upside in this offense. He's used in the passing game. He was used intermittently with Javonte Williams. I wouldn't pay up for him, but he's going to have some spurts where he's getting touches out of the backfield. I think this offense is going to be a little bit more potent than expected. That's not Bo Nix hype. That's us looking at this offense damn near every day at training camp, and they're moving the ball. Tim Patrick's back from injuries. Cortland Sutton's healthy right now. Jaleel McLaughlin can be used a little bit in the passing game. He's got some pop. He's got some wiggle to him. I have him down a little bit. Estimate Javonte Williams also going to be a good buffer for him. But if you're looking for a running back who's getting touches, he's on the cheap. Those are 12 running backs that you can pick up in the later rounds of your draft that has some upside that could be getting touches, and you never know what's going to happen. Pretty much anybody in the latter rounds, if the starter goes down, you're going to be fighting for him off the waivers. So if you like him, try to stash running backs in the back end of your draft, because you know what? Running backs get hurt at a good clip. And all the touches go to the RB2. Unlike wide receivers, the targets get dispersed out. The offense gets a little bit slower when the wide receiver 1 goes down. 90% of the time, when the starting running back goes down, the touches go to the RB2 more than likely. More than likely, that's why you're fighting for them off waivers compared to those wide receivers 2s, wide receivers 3s that are there on the waiver wire. So you want to stash up them back end running backs and have them hoarded. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One, thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.